Hello, lovely ones, and welcome to the Evolving Bodies podcast. I'm Julie, a personal trainer, life coach, and course creator, passionate about helping women gain confidence around food and exercise so that you can live your best life without guilt, restriction, and pressure. So, how are you doing? I have just signed up for a course that is linked to my face-to-face services, but so different that it's actually quite scary for me because the voice in my head is saying, Jules, stick to what you know. Who are you to offer this to people? So now I know that what I'm doing is going to be hugely beneficial to my PT clients, and I'm confident and I'm excited by it. But this rude roommate that's in my head keeps popping up telling me otherwise. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. This rude roommate that is between your ears. We all have one. It's that little voice in your head that likes to remind you how much of a loser you are. Mine always comes out loud and very clear when I'm trying to work on my business. I'm all excited and this voice starts telling me how I'm never going to make this work or I'm never going to be successful. And I mean, it's not just the big stuff that this roommate has got an opinion about. Sometimes it's just doing simple tasks like you don't keep up with your clothes washing. Why are you so lazy? It will say to you. It's a rude roommate that you want to evict, but it just won't budge. Frustratingly, this rude roommate, try saying that so many times, will never go away. It's an unavoidable side effect of being a human, but it can be challenged because often what it is saying is not true, but you believe this to be true. So what we call this rude roommate is negative self-talk. And you may have gathered it's when you're speaking to yourself like an arsehole. Unintentionally, I will say, because it's not something that we have complete control over. The brain is just chitter-chattering away all day long. Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's just being a dick. So there are common types of negative self-talk. We have the perfectionist, and it will say something like, if it's not perfect, then it's a failure. If I don't do this perfect, then I failed. We also have the catastrophizer. I did this wrong. I messed up. So everything is ruined. And then it goes back to the perfectionist. I'm such a failure because I didn't do this perfect. And then we have the comparer. This is probably really common for a lot, especially for us women. It's probably really common. You'll probably recognize it. She's so much fitter, more successful, prettier than me. Makes us feel worthless because we're comparing ourselves to somebody else, or the brain is comparing itself to somebody else that thinks that they are better than us. And then we have this inner bully. You're useless. You're such a failure. Why can't you just get this right? I'm like this with the washing. And then we have the fortune teller. I'm definitely going to fail at this. Even when you have absolutely no evidence at all that this is even true. So have a think about what you hear your rude roommate saying to you. What are your most common sentences that this inner voice says to you? And here's the thing. They are not harmless voices that are just inside your head. They have this major impact on your life and all areas of your life. So this inner voice impacts us emotionally. So it increases our anxiety, our self-doubt and our self-esteem. Mentally, it creates limiting beliefs, the things we believe to be true about ourselves, these things that we believe that hold us back. And physically can lead to this inner voice can lead to like stress related symptoms like poor sleep or fatigue because you're just constantly churning out this absolute BS that you're paying attention to this BS that your brain is spitting out to you. And then behaviourally. So it makes it less likely to try new things or to pursue your goals, or it has an impact on what it is that you achieve because you believe these sentences that your inner voice is kind of telling you. It's like you have an arch enemy, or it's like an arch enemy is giving you a parrot that you've allowed to sit on your shoulders all day long, like squawking insults at you. It's no fun, but it is part of being a human. So why are we so rude to ourselves? Negative self-talk is one of those many things that have been handed down by our ancestors from the days we needed to be more focused on survival. We don't have a saber-toothed tiger chasing us anymore. And back in the day, that it was really important to be hyper aware of these dangers, of that noise in the grass, or to be sort of like paranoid about the things that were around us and what, equally what people thought of us. Your brain was more focused on thoughts about survival rather than those cheerful thoughts that bring us joy. This is the brain's natural negativity bias. However, we also have a society that we live in, and self-criticism has just become almost like a full-time job for us. We are bombarded by ideal beauty standards, the edited, filtered images that make reaching these standards impossible to reach, or almost impossible not to compare ourselves to other people. An industry which literally profits off of our self-criticism, from lotions and potions to the next shiny diet or fad weight loss hack to high street Botox, all designed to make you feel like you are not enough how you are. And just as a little side note on that, I have nothing against lotions or Botox. It's the marketing around them that I don't like, preying on our insecurities. The result of this nagging inner voice reminding you that you just aren't fit enough, young enough, pretty enough. But we also have these personal experiences that shape how our inner voice expresses itself to us. This inner voice is shaped by the people that we have around us and the experiences in our life that we have had. People who expected perfection of you, even if it was never said but just simply implied, that you might have internalized this, and the inner voice is about how everything has to be perfect or it's just not good enough. You're not good enough. Bullying can also plant those seeds of self-doubt and self-worth, and those bullying voices become your lifelong scripts of who you are as a person. And mine, it's from trauma. This fear of rejection and the fear of failure is the most prominent inner voice that I have. It's caused me to be fiercely and detrimentally independent. Friendships are a minefield for my inner voice. Little Jules has so much to say about this one. And the fear of failure either makes me really stubborn about getting shit done until I burn out, or I just simply never get started. So negative self-talk is absolutely part of being human, but it does not have any reflection on your own worth. And it's totally changeable when you become aware of it, when you are kind about it, and you practice turning it around all of the time. As soon as you hear that voice, as soon as you become aware of that voice, use a kind voice to say something back and practice turning it around. So I'm going to share with you some strategies to help quiet that little voice. It's always going to be there. It's our job to shut it down when it starts to say something that we maybe don't even want to believe anymore. So number one, name the voice. Give it a silly name just to reduce its power. So something like, oh, here comes Bossy Brenda again, telling me my thighs are offensive, jog on, Brenda. And that's, if you just give it a name, something silly. Mine is called Little Jules just because I'm working on making my inner child feel better. But you can have any name that you want for it, just like Bossy Brenda, or I don't know, I can't even think of another one right now. So use your friend filter. When that voice pops up, ask yourself, would I say this to my best mate? Or even, would my best mate say this to me? If she does, then maybe think about your friend choices. But would you say this to your best mate? Would you say this to your child? Would you say this to somebody that you love and you care about and you want nothing but the best for them? And then we want to reframe and like soften it up a little bit. So swap "I'm terrible for this" for something like "I'm still learning this. I'm still figuring this out. I'm doing this my own way. I don't know how to do this yet." Sometimes it's just that simple kind of swap in the words that you use that just ease that brain into thinking, "Oh, okay, no, she's got this. We don't need to be so terrified of this. I don't need to make her not do this thing that she's doing." And then we want to have mindful comebacks. So using a compassionate, maybe a witty comment to answer back. So something negative like, "You look awful in that," when you get dressed to go out and you look in the mirror. Say something like witty and understanding. So you might say, "Cheers for the unsolicited fashion advice," like, and then insert whatever like fashion designer that you like or even that you don't like, so that you can just like, I know nothing about fashion, so I can't got one maybe. I know nothing about fashion, but say something funny back to it, just to take that like that harshness out of it, just to make it kind of funny and not so hurtful, as if you're having a conversation with somebody who is more that you just need to almost like take the mickey out because they're being so silly. And then we want to practice self-compassion. So practice kindness to your inner voice. Like, don't say shit like, "Don't be a dick." Because even though your inner words can be harsh, they are still part of you. And remember, it's just doing its job at keeping you safe, but it doesn't understand how to warn you any other way. So when you say harsh words back, you're doing exactly the same to yourself. And now you're having this like two-way brutal argument with yourself about yourself, and it's just unhelpful. So which is, and this is why being mindful, maybe even having that witty comments, saying those witty comments back is a really good way to just diffuse that in a conversation. And do have a free download for you to help you with this. I will link it in the show notes, and it is 10 journaling prompts just to help you outsmart and reframe those comments or that inner voice from your inner rude roommate. So as we, it's a short one today. So as we close, let's just have a little recap. Negative self-talk, or that inner conversation that you have in your head, is normal, but it isn't true. It does not have to be true unless you make it true. It's just, think of them as just sentences, past stories that your brain is kind of kicking out, these things that you've been taught to believe. It's just a constant spiel of words and sentences that your brain is spitting out. It does not have to be true if you don't want it to be true. It's about learning how to change it into something, reframe this into something that is more positive, that is more helpful for you. And you absolutely can challenge these, and you can use humor and kindness and all of that good stuff to help you navigate that self-talk that's keeping you maybe stuck, that's keeping you, feeling unhappy with things that are going on around you. And then, reframing can be challenging, which is why I have created the free download for you, just to help guide you into writing about what it is that goes on in your head. Because the thing with journaling is that when you have no exit for these thoughts that are in your head, they stay lodged in there forever, and they just build power until that thought that you've had, it becomes your identity. It becomes who you are. "I am not good enough" is like a really common story that we tell ourselves because we've just believed it. We've just allowed those thoughts to be in there unchallenged for so long. So definitely go and download that guide. I hope and think it will be hugely helpful for you. And I would love to hear your like funny and heartwarming self-talk wins on social, or even in the comments. with this podcast. So definitely let me know. And remember, you are not broken. You are simply just occasionally mean to yourself, because that's what the brain does. So let's befriend that inner roommate, or at least let it stop hogging up all of your mental space or all of the telly. Don't let it hog all of the telly and decide what it is that you're choosing to listen to today. So thanks for listening, and thanks for tuning in. If you want to share, subscribe, or leave a review, it's massively helpful to get all of this, hopefully super useful stuff out there. And if you have any thoughts on any episodes that you would love to hear about, any topics you would love to hear about, leave me a comment. Leave me a comment with this post, and I will absolutely love to get started on it. So goodbye for now, and I'll speak to you all next week.